Hi YouTube. So I just came here to address the recent killings of two black males who were shot by the police yesterday. Alton Sterling in Louisiana, who was shot outside a Triple S supermarket selling CDs, and Philando Castle, who was shot while with his girlfriend in Minnesota in his car with his girlfriend. And one of these videos was actually taken down from Facebook, and that was Lavish Diamond Reynolds. That's the girlfriend of Philando Castle. Her video was taken down off Facebook, and it was a video of the encounter with the policeman telling her boyfriend to put his hands up slowly and then just shooting him just like that. And you can find the video on YouTube if you really want to watch it, but you can't find it on Facebook at all. You can't find it on social media at all. They blocked it. They don't want it being played on there. And as for Alton Sterling, I've seen him all over Facebook. I've seen him all over social media. I've seen him all over YouTube. I've seen him all over Instagram, Twitter, and I don't even have an Instagram or a Twitter. So number one, we as black people living in an obvious state of inequality and in white supremacy, we can't be surprised anymore at things like this. Because just a few days ago, there was a speech by Jesse Williams addressing this exact same kind of thing. So we have to open our eyes to the fact that these disproportionate killings of black males are an obvious attempt at genocide by the white supremacy system orchestrated, and they're using police to do it. They're using their white knights to do it because white policemen in general, are the protectors of white supremacy. When they say it's to serve and protect, what are they talking about? They're talking about serving and protecting interests of white supremacy, and that has nothing to do with black people whatsoever. Number two, we have to open our eyes to the fact that the locking up of black male youth is equatable to a genocide, because there are there are places in America with there are actual cities in America with shortages of black males due to incarceration or due to homicide. And just over the course of this year, over 160 black male youth have been killed. Black males in general have been killed by policemen this year alone already. So do the math. Divide 365 by 2, you get around 180, and that's probably almost around that's about, or no, not even, like that's like one black male a day. That's insane. That's genocide. That's what that is. So number three, if we don't see how white supremacy works, then we're blind. Because consider the fact that Facebook actually acted to have the second video of second shooting victim Philando Castle. They took that down. They took that down because they didn't want us to see that. They just had a killing yesterday. Um, the man selling CDs outside of the Louisiana store, Alton Sterling, and then to just have another one, that's two back-to-back killings. So consider the fact that the Blue Lives Matter law was recently passed in Louisiana in order to outlaw any kind of protest against police whatsoever. So they already know what they're doing. They don't want us standing up for ourselves in any type of shape, fashion, or form, period. They want us to stay quiet. Because remember that white supremacy isn't against inventing laws to protect their own interests. They would rather make laws that stop us from recording the police, and they would rather let cops be discharged instead of paying for their crimes of killing black males. So remember that these policemen are not there to serve or protect you. They are only there to serve and protect white supremacy. They don't care about us. So when we say fuck the police, this is the reason why we say it. Because it is clear that they are not on our side. They are our enemies. When we refer to ourselves as minorities, that's all they perceive when they see us. They see it as minorities, which means they see us as lesser people. And therefore, this is where they believe they have the right, their license to kill us indiscriminately. So things haven't changed from back then. But they don't want us to speak up about these matters. So I implore as many brothers and sisters to raise their voices as much as possible, because they would love us to keep quiet, and I don't buy it. If this wasn't true, then Facebook wouldn't have deleted the video of Philando Castle's murder. This is the kind of thing that white supremacists jerk off to in their spare time. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want to hear any prayers. I don't want to hear any talk of equality, because there has just been two more black killings by white cops back to back. So prayers, Christian prayers, Muslim prayers, any kind of prayers have obviously fixed nothing. because the white man's God is not on our side. We have to start realizing that the white man's God has never been on our side to begin with, because the white man's God was forced on us around the time Columbus first came to America. You know, we have to learn and accept that we, as black people in the US, in America, are indigenous to this country. I'm talking about America as a whole. That's America, Mexico, South America. Now, this is knowledge that white supremacy doesn't want us to know. That the Native Americans were also black with woolly hair like the Washita and the Arawak. Some also had straight hair, but naturally, before any European set foot in America, it was a black country. The Native Americans were dark brown, olive toned skin, and woolly hair. And this is something that you will never learn in history books. The Native Americans were black people. All right? So tell me why we're still wasting our time with the Caucasian image that has never had our best interests at heart. But you know what? I'm going to address that en masse in another video, because that's a huge topic. We need to let go of Christianity. The bottom line is, now is the time to not only wake up, but we really have to sever ourselves from white supremacy in general, the Caucasian psyche. We have to do that. And I'm not talking really about a back to Africa movement, even though we need one. I'm talking about our land right here. We need to separate our mentality from them in terms of media, in terms of economics, in terms of education and lifestyle. We need to begin to think for ourselves, because forgiveness has stunted our overall growth as black people, Nubians. Within the Caucasian Christian religion, forgiveness, it has to be there, because that there's no other way that they would be able to excuse what they're doing, unless the people that they were oppressing are giving them an excuse to continue. Because forgiveness tells us to forgive our oppressors and continue letting them oppress us. So forgiving the enemy allows the enemy to get away with their deeds. In fact, let me give you a quick example that I saw a couple days ago. I was watching an old Dragon Ball Z fight, because there was a peculiar scene that stood out to me from my childhood. And it was the match where Goku goes to face off against Frieza. And if you want, you can go and watch it. I don't know if people have seen it. I was really young when I saw it. But this particular scene always stuck out with me. So here's how it goes. At the end of the fight, Frieza slices himself up with his own energy discs, and then he's laying there bloody on the ground and all that, and Goku starts walking away. And Frieza actually starts to beg Goku to help him and forgive him. Now, this is in spite of the fact that Frieza has killed numerous amounts of Goku's friends, numerous amounts of innocent civilians, innocent people everywhere. This man's blown up planets. So, you know what Goku does? He heals Frieza. And you know what Frieza does after? He tries to kill Goku again. And you know what Goku has to do then? Then he has to kill Frieza for real. So never forgive your oppressor. I could never understand that from when I was a youth. Never forgive your oppressor, because you are giving them your blessing to continue what they are doing to you. People seem to forget, if you turn the other cheek, you're twice as exposed. Anyways, that's really all I had to say about the whole topic. I'm going to come back through later. Leave any comments that you have below.